Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I would like to talk about an announcement that came from the office of our Mayor, Lord, Savior, and Master in New York City, Mayor Bill DeBlasio. This is about illegal dirt bikes in New York City and how he is handling the situation. I just want to talk a little bit about this, how he got to this point, and why, in my opinion, many people, regardless of their political affiliation, are completely justified in hating this man. Whether you are on the left, whether you are on the right, whether you're a libertarian, whether you're a centrist, whatever you are, people of all stripes, all colors, all religions, all sexual orientations that I meet universally think this man is a douchebag. And here is why. So let's play this over here. I am going to put this video on the screen for you to all watch, and you let me know what
Anyone out there has an illegal dirt bike, don't even think about it, because the NYPD will find it and will crush it. These dirt bikes do not belong in New York City. It's against the law, period. Dirt bikes are dangerous. Hundreds of these dirt bikes have been confiscated. There's going to be more coming. And you know why? Because the community is helping us. There are some problems that are tough to overcome, but there are other problems you can smash and you can crush, and this is one of them.
Okay, why is our mayor a douchebag for doing this? He is a douchebag because these were seemingly working devices. They confiscated them from people that are using them, so they work. And instead of taking these working devices that are illegal for certain uses and, let's say, making those parts available to people in areas where they are, or selling them and using it to, put it towards some of the insane debt that we have in this state, using that money for any number of many city programs that could use the money, you crushed it and you destroyed it. You insufferable fucking cunt! Why? Why would you do that? Now, I already know what you're thinking. What you're thinking is, Lewis, if you just sell the things, aren't you just going to be selling it to the people they got confiscated from? You don't have to just sell it in New York State, dummy! There's an entire world out there! There's an entire rest of the country where they allow their citizens to utilize dirt bikes where they are not in an urban environment. What do you have to lose selling these dirt bikes to often as a wholesale way to people in Missouri or Utah or Wisconsin or somewhere else where they are allowed to use them? You don't just have to resell them in New York, and it wouldn't take much effort to do that. In fact, it might take less effort to do that than it took to film this bullshit photo op of you crushing them with construction equipment. Again, think about the spirit of right to repair. What do? We try to take things out of dumpsters, and we try to take machines that are recycled, we try to take things people would throw away, and make them work again. That is a core tenet of this channel, taking things that would otherwise be thrown away, make them work again for people that otherwise wouldn't have been able to have the opportunity to have them. And you go up there, you take a bunch of working devices, and you run them over simply because people were not using them legally. So if you impound a car because somebody is driving illegally because they don't have a license, do you just take that car and run it over? No, you don't fucking do that, because that is a waste of money. That is a waste of a good car. You auction it off somewhere where it can be purchased by somebody who will use it in a legal manner. And also, if you are going to do something, if you're actually going to destroy things that are worth money, maybe you should do it when the state and the city is on better financial footing than it is now. Maybe you do that when the small businesses in the city are not all getting wiped and destroyed. Maybe you do that when all the commercial real estate isn't completely vacant. Maybe you do that when people are not begging for money in the streets, homeless everywhere, because you are just not dealing with any elements of any of the problems here. This is why he is an insufferable cunt. And this is why people across the political spectrum do not like you. Now, there are different groups of people in the city that ride these bikes, and I just like to go through them because I understand why people are mad, and I understand why there are people out there that want these to be confiscated. I'm not mad about them being confiscated. I am mad about the waste, not making these available to areas of the United States where they are actually illegal, and then using the funds from that to actually fund programs in the city of any way, shape, or form. And if you are actually using them, if that was a joke, if you're not actually crushing things, then why brag about it? Why put it on Twitter? If you are actually auctioning these bikes off somewhere, if that's not the actual plan that you are using, then why would you brag about it? Why would you make it seem like it is cool to waste good engines, to waste good materials, to waste good dirt bikes that could be used somewhere else where they are legal? Why would you brag about destroying shit? Are you insane? I mean, you have all this talk now about waste, about recycling, about climate change, about sustainability, and then you just take a bunch of stuff that works and you run it over. Even if you're not actually doing that, even if you just think it's a lull, why the fuck would you brag about that when you're the mayor of a progressive city? Ah, my God. Anyway, so there are different types of groups of people that have bikes in the city. You have people that have bicycles. Sometimes they disobey the law, but it's not, insanely annoying. You have people who ride electric bicycles who are, mostly law-abiding. Sometimes they'll go through a red or whatever, but often you'll see them look before they do it. Not the biggest deal. You have the people who deal with DoorDash and Grubhub and Seamless and all that. They typically ride Arrow 7s and Arrow 9s, and they tend to skirt the law more than the other groups. The reason, in my opinion, is because they have a financial incentive built into their job to drive like lunatics. If they go the wrong way down a street and they save 1 minute, they may be able to do 5 more deliveries that hour, and that makes them an extra $7 or whatever. They have a financial incentive to drive like lunatics, and you'll often see the Arrow 7s and 9s for the delivery people driving like lunatics. I see it every day. I got smashed into one 5 years ago, tore my quadricep over it. You'll see they don't go to a red light and do this very often. You'll see that they just go right through it without even looking. They expect that you're paying attention, that you're going to smash on your brakes in your car to not get hit by them, or in my case, they expect that you're just going to stop walking down the street. And I one time got so pissed at it, I just didn't. I let him smash right into my leg. Probably not the smartest thing I ever did. But I understand why people are mad at them. But there's not a lot of noise made by them because they're silent. And I also, again, a lot of it is the fact that the cost of living here is so high that they need to do their job illegally to pay their rent, that's a topic for an entirely other video, but we could talk about that for hours. The third are people that have motorcycles that are legally registered via the DMV. They're legal to ride around New York City, and they don't cause much in terms of problems. You don't see them going through reds. You don't see them going the wrong way down the street. And admittedly, the noise is annoying when they go by, but it's very rare that they go by. They're not very flashy with it. Nobody cares. The fourth type are these dirt bikes. What I think is pissing people off about the dirt bike is not that it's illegal. It's the noise. It's definitely the noise. So I will go jogging sometimes, and late at night, you'll just see somebody sitting there at a red light, 1 in the morning, and revving this as loud as they can. They're just revving and revving and revving. And when it's 1 in the morning, the last thing that you want to hear is the revving of a loud dirt bike. Again, these don't have fancy schmancy mufflers on them that are making them sound, more like a Toyota Corolla when you're driving down the block. It's annoying. It's very, very loud. And you don't have to rev constantly. There are ways that you can just slowly rev up and easily be able to travel around at night at a speed that is sensible, given that there's no traffic on the road. It's not like you have to keep up with people. It's not like it's a race to get anywhere. The speed limit is 25 miles an hour, so what the hell are you revving so much for anyway? But they choose to rev like crazy. And that causes people to say, screw these dirt bikes. I hate these dirt bikes. Confiscate those because they're waking me up. I understand that. I understand that you don't want to be woken up by an illegal dirt bike. And I understand why you're angry. But does that mean that it's really necessary for us to run over something that would be legal to use in another part of the country, where that money could actually help fund the city in some way, shape, or form? Is it really necessary to take working devices simply because they're being used in an illegal manner and run them over? Would you apply this to other areas of law enforcement? If somebody is using, if somebody is using, like soldering iron illegally, are you going to destroy the soldering iron? If somebody's using their car illegally, are you going to take a picture running over that car, or are you going to confiscate it from them and then auction it off to someone who then can use it legally in their city or their state, and then use that money to actually fund the deteriorating, destroyed infrastructure throughout our city? That money could be used to fund subways, could be used to fund food, could be used to fund so many things in this city, and he is actually bragging about the fact that he is running over them. Why? Why? And even if he's not running over them, even if that's just a funny video, and when you look into it more, they go, well, they actually weren't running them over. That was just a video that they posted to YouTube. They're actually going to auction them, all that. Why are you bragging about this? Why would you brag about that? Why would you put that message out there? Why would you make that video? Why would you have that little smirk on your face as you're destroying perfectly working stuff? Why put that message out there into the world? Just a rant. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I look forward to the day that this man is no longer the mayor of the city that I call home. See you in the next video.